And being in God, starting my journey with God, getting the healing that I needed, I started to fast because I wanted to be in a relationship that was God centered, right? And I put all my focus on trying to redeem myself in my singleness. I wanted it so bad. I wanted it so bad. And so I made it my idol. God dislikes, truly, strongly dislikes the fact that we put anything above Him, that we give our attention to anything other than Him, because He essentially deserves all the glory, right? Being in covenant is of God, being in a relationship is of God, camaraderie is of God, attachment is not of God. We need to be attached to God. We need to be attached to the Word. We need to be attached to our prayer life. That's the attachment that we need to have. Attachment will make you have an idol, and God don't do idols. Hey y'all, it's your little big sis CJ Renee, and we're back with another episode of the Thriving House, y'all. Oh, I love being here with y'all. I love taking this journey with y'all. Y'all make me so happy to be on this journey. Because, I mean, you would think sometimes you be going through things by yourself, but for real, you be going through same things other people going through. And that's what's so amazing about being able to share my testimony and being able to share my journey with y'all. Because I'm realizing I'm not alone. We're walking hand in hand together. Thank y'all for y'all support. I love y'all. Let's go ahead and jump into today's episode. As y'all know, we are already doing the biblical detachment series. If you haven't watched the first and second episode, go back and watch that. Those two are amazing. But now we're doing our third episode. And today we're reading out of Exodus 20 verses 2 through 6. And I'm going to go ahead and start. Of course, I'm reading in the New Living Translation, but you're more than welcome to read along in whatever version you feel you fit or see fit, right? So let's go ahead and start. I am the Lord your God who rescued you from the land of Egypt, the place of your slavery, right? You must not have any other God but me. You must not you must not make yourself an idol of any kind or of an image of anything in the heavens or on the earth or in the sea. He's not playing, okay? You must not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, I am a jealous God who will not tolerate your affection for any other gods. He said, don't try it. Don't try me. I'll lay you out. I lay the sins of the parents upon their children. The entire family is affected, even the children in the third, fourth generations of those who reject me. He said, you want to play with me? Watch what I do. That's what he's saying. That's what that means. But I lavish unfailing love for 1,000 generations on those who love me and obey my commands. Hello? I lavish unfailing love for for 1,000 generations. 1,000 generations. He punishing 4 generations, but on 1,000 generations for those who love him. Okay? Unfailing loving him. Okay, that means not when you're annoyed, not when you pissed off, not when you like, God, where is it at? What's going on? Why is this relationship falling apart? Why I ain't get that job yet? God, why is the bills not getting paid? Lord, you said you would. Still love him. Still worship him. Okay. The way you want to be loved by God, try that. Try giving him that. Because that's just a human version of what you can give. God can give you 10 times more than you would have ever thought you would have received if you just give a little bit of what your human self can do. Let me tell y'all something. In my singleness, I know a lot of people can relate to this because I mean there's this dating scene in your 30s is crazy, but I can only imagine for the 20-year-olds too. This season of singleness for me personally has been really crazy, right? I remember when I initially started my journey with God. Just like it says here in verse 2, God speaking about how he saved these people, children of Israel, from being slaves in Egypt. God also saved me from being my own version of slave to sin, period. right? And I remember the moment that God entered my life, the moment that he was like, you know what, I'm taking you up out of this place. He gave me my own version of the splitting the Red Sea, okay? He gave me my own version of that, and I will never forget it. I was sitting in a hot tub with my ex-fiance at the time, or my he was my fiance at the time, but now he's okay. You get the point. And we're just rolling on some drugs. We were on some drugs, and I will never forget. There was this man who came in the hot tub with us, and everybody was laughing at because everybody was like kind of coupled up in the pool area. And when they saw this guy come over and sit in the hot tub with us, they all started looking at us like, "Zang, they messing up y'all flow." But I was just kind of like, it is what it is, whatever. The man just started talking, and he's talking about everything. He's talking about why he's in Florida. He's talking about, all the stuff. And then he started talking about the woman who got him saved. And then he started talking about how he realized who God was for himself, like how he began having a relationship with God for himself. And in that conversation, he was discussing how he had to trust God and put his faith in God for God to come through for him on a situation that he needed help with. He was raising a child by himself at the time, just recently got divorced, and God told him to move. And he's like, God, you told me to move, but I don't have no money. I don't have this. I don't have that. God said, go, and I will meet you there. All I need is a yes. All I need is a yes from you that you will listen and follow me. That's what he said he heard. And he said the moment he decided to say yes and he left and took his child and they went to this other place, I don't even know where he went. He said that upon getting there, he got a new job. He was able to afford his home that he purchased. Okay, with what money? Right? Then the people that were in the neighborhood and the church that he joined, they all started coming together, bringing him baby formula, baby pampers, all the stuff that he needed for his child to raise this infant child that he just got in the middle of this divorce. You know what I'm saying? And his mind was blown. And listening to his story, I'm like, this is crazy. And then he turns to me and said, but God is telling me that you need to do the same thing. God is telling me to tell you that he needs your yes. And I will never forget it because some of y'all who don't know, my ex-fiance was an abuser, right? And he used to beat on me. And the only reason why I didn't feel like it in the moment was because I used to fight back. But essentially, I had to end up getting out of that situation because he put guns to my head. It was really bad. It elevated and escalated every single time he put his hands on me. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, getting to the point. I finally said yes to God. God delivered me out of that situation, just like the Israelites to the Egyptians. He delivered me out of that situation. He brought me back home, and being in God, starting my journey with God, getting the healing that I needed, I started to fast because I wanted to be in a relationship that was God centered, right? And I put all my focus on trying to redeem myself in my singleness. Trying to redeem myself because I felt like I was so close but so far, right? Because I had the ring, but I never went to the altar, right? And so, granted, I didn't want to go to the altar with that guy anyway, but the point is, I wanted it so bad. I wanted it so bad. And so I made it my idol. And what God hates is that he hates when and God don't hate, right? But God dislikes, truly, strongly dislikes the fact that we put anything above him, that we give our attention to anything other than him, because he essentially deserves all the glory, right? He literally saved me from a life or death situation, and how I repay him is by wanting to redeem myself with a better relationship. God was like, come on now. But just like the devil, God hears our prayers, the devil hears our prayers too. And I was sent a counterfeit. And that counterfeit has put me on a different trajectory that I never wanted to be on. Right. And now I have to heal and try to get back to a place that's centered in God all over again, because I allowed a relationship to take me off track. But that would have never happened if I didn't make being in a relationship an idol. If I didn't make being married an idol. If I didn't make, wanting something that I desired so badly an idol. God does not appreciate that. And he will definitely allow things to happen because you're out of the will of God. What do you expect to happen? You expect to be covered while you're out of the will of God? I need us to think about this. The attachment that you have to people, the attachment that you have to that job, the attachment that you have to those bills, the attachment that you have to them children, huh? The attachment that you have to that friend, the attachment that you have to your partner who you're in a relationship with, whether you're single, married, or whatever. The people that you are attached to, the things, the places that you are attached to is not of God. Attachment is not of God. It's not. Being in covenant is of God. Being in a relationship is of God. Camaraderie is of God. Attachment is not of God. That is not what God called us to do, to be attached to people. He ain't make us Siamese twins. He ain't got us out here like that. There are some though, but like, but he don't got us out here like that. So that is not for us to do. We need to be attached to God. We need to be attached to the word. We need to be attached to our prayer life. That's the attachment that we need to have. And remember who God is. He does not like idols. He don't do idols. And if I say anything else tonight, or if I see anything else on this episode, make sure you take that with you. Attachment will make you have an idol, and God don't do idols. All right? I love y'all. This is your little big sis, CJ Renee. This has been another episode of the Thriving House.